I can't find the link. I forgot to put the link up. Okay, we are live Monday night from the quarantine studios in Troutdale, Oregon. I'm Jerry from the Happy Place Diaries, and welcome in all six of you. We got Amy and RV Traveling, MIA Slow Mo is in the house, Susan from New Horizons. Who else we got? Artists on the Road. I'm here, Scott Jacobs. In appreciation, good to have you, RV Kids TV. Great premiere. Don't be surprised because you're going to hear about the same thing, just different answers. Senior Sister, great to see you. And Blake from New Vision Security Services. Welcome in. Hopefully, people are going to find us. Guess who forgot to schedule the live tonight and get a link up? Yeah, that was me. I didn't do it. So hopefully people just see that we are live and they decide to pop on in. So we'll see. If not, it is what it is. And that is the world that we live in now. So anyway, hope everybody is well. Hopefully everybody's staying virus funk free and doing the best you can to cope. I know we are. I got pretty upset today, and spoiler alert, I'm going to give a first world problem out here, as most of you know. Hey, Northwoods Life, Corey is in Northwoods RV Life. How you doing, Corey and Lori? Good to see you. Absolute first world problem, and if I offend anybody, be offended. But one of the perks of retirement is that you could go to Home Depot on a Monday and there's no lines. Well, this whole COVID thing has completely ruined all of my retirement perks. Went to Home Depot today, a line all the way around the store trying to get in. Yeah. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. I hope you all know that I'm kidding. I'm not kidding about it being a retirement perk, but I know the whole COVID thing is serious, so don't send me hate mail, or no, actually do send me hate mail because I will respond to everything that you got to say, and I'm sure that we will agree somewhere down the line. Hey, Johnny's Journeys is in the house. Hello to you. What I thought we'd do tonight, the Haley family, and I caught this on their show, or one of their videos, is they put together a quarantine 10 questions. And I thought, well, we could shoot a video about it. But I'd already had videos planned, so I thought this would be a good one to throw out there on the live show. And then you guys can interact and share some of your answers to these 10 questions. So if you're coming to us from the RV Kids TV premiere, which was a good one, really enjoy it. Glad to see the family getting through this together. Glad to see Pennsylvania has more brains than Oregon, and they're opening some things up. And oh, by the way, I don't care what my governor thinks about Jerry. I really don't. So whatever. I'm not going to get political, but as my grandmother used to say, she's a piece of work. So anyway, we'll move on. We're going to get into hey, Fifth Wheel and Food and Fiction. Good to see you. um, in the house. And I hope I didn't miss anybody because, folks, I'm going to be honest with you. I try, um, the whole chat thing gets me so distracted. So I try to just stay focused on the camera and see where we go from there. So, but I am checking every once in a while. So if I miss you, hello. It's good to have you in. Tell a friend, bring a friend with you next week. And that's another discussion that we need to have. Tennessee will open May 1st, but we have to wear a mask and stay 6 feet apart. Awesome. You know, I'll share my opinion, and this is my opinion. This does not reflect anybody else's opinion that's in the room. But I think we need to move away from social distancing to social responsibility. And what that means to me, anyway, is that people just need to take responsibility for their own actions. If you feel the need to wear a mask, wear a mask. I don't feel the need to wear a mask. And hey, Bob from Blue Wave is in the house. I don't feel the need to wear a mask. And I really don't feel the need for my government to dictate that I wear a mask. The last time I checked, my zip code is one of the cities that's in the United States of America. And kind of enough is enough with all the edicts from on high. I'm just, right now, I'm having a hard time knowing who I'm supposed to listen to, who I could trust. And so I think if we, as Americans, took on a little bit more responsibility for our own actions. Hey, listen, here's the deal. If I get a cold, I don't go out, right? If I get the flu, I don't go out. So if you're sick, stay home. But we got to do something to turn the tide here. And I think so many people are dependent on listening to the government to tell them what to do, and they need to move away from that. Hey, Aaron is in the house. Good to see you. All right, so enough of that. It's good to see everybody joining us tonight. Weekend RVing, good to see you. Let's move on to tonight's topic, and I really want to solicit from you. Go ahead and drop your answers to these questions in the comments. Full Time Dream, good to see you. Drop your answers to these questions, and I'm going to answer. Teresa is exercising, literally exercising her right to get outside, and she's going on her walk. We've been doing lots of yard work lately, and so she decided to take the Happy Place Happy Hour as an opportunity to get out and work. My knees are absolutely destroyed right now, and I don't think I'd make it to the end of the block. All right, so let's dive right in with the questions. So question number one on the quarantine 10 question challenge, I suppose, is how many rolls of toilet paper do you have at this moment? I will tell you that I was out in the trailer today, and we have a 12-pack in the trailer. Hey, POA is in the house. Good to see you. We have a 12-pack out in the trailer that we bought probably 6 months ago. And then I know we just replenished our toilet paper for the first time, by the way. We bought toilet paper back before COVID was a thing, back in January. And we just bought toilet paper yesterday. And we're not experiencing toilet paper shortages up here right now. You go to the store, it's on the shelves. So people aren't panic buying toilet paper. They've moved from toilet paper to the meat aisle now. So we probably have 24 rows in the house and 12 rows out in the trailer. So um, we're doing just fine with toilet paper. If this virus does cause me to have explosive diarrhea, I think we'll be okay for a couple days. All right, question number 2. Let's see, anybody else pop in? Nope. All right, question number 2. What has been the biggest change since the lockdown? Um, the biggest change, well, the two biggest changes. The biggest change is having my wife home all the time. Um, so that's been the biggest change, um, which I totally enjoy. But the biggest change to our lifestyle is that we haven't been able to go camping. Other than that, we have not really been effective because even though we've been on lockdown, we keep going out. We go on walks, we go on bike rides. We're going places that we can go that aren't closed. Um, so, other than camping, we really haven't changed our lifestyle much. It does help that I'm retired, so I putz around the house anyway, doing projects on the trailer and around the house. So really, our lifestyle really hasn't changed. So, but having Teresa home all the time now, I'm really getting used to it, and I really am going to have a hard time when she does go back to work next school year. Let's see. Let's see. What do we got? Question number 3. Where are you currently parked or docked? I am currently parked in the dining room of my house. The RV is parked 40 feet that way, which could be that way to you, but it really doesn't matter. Um, in fact, we've been doing the camping that we have done. We've been going out in the trailer and camping out there about once a week. We went camping out there Friday night, and it was fun. It was really great because it rained here. We haven't had rain in the last couple weeks, but it rained Friday night. And I don't know about you, but I love rain on the roof of the RV. It was wonderful. So we did camp Friday night out in the out beside the house. So that's where we are currently parked or docked, and it's nice because we have full hookups at our house. We have water, electric, and I can dump if we need to. And no, I don't do an Uncle Eddie. I don't dump out into the street. We actually have a fitting that goes into sewer. All right. Question number 4. Let's see if anybody's answering. Just a whole bunch of hellos so far. Hey, and it is really great to see everybody here. Really, Smithy's in from the UK. Really great to see you here. All right. Where was I? Number 4. What have you gone without recently? Um, Nothing. Camping. We haven't gone without anything. Our life, and thank knock on wood, our life has been pretty much unaffected by all of this. Like I said, other than the freedom to go where we want and do what we want, we haven't gone without anything. Um, the refrigerator stayed stocked. The toilet paper's been good. The weather's been good, so we've been out and about. So other than camping, we really haven't gone without anything. I'm going over and checking on my parents about twice a week. They only live 9 minutes from here, so I go over and I spend a couple hours with them. Um, no, okay. So have we gone without? We have gone without being with our friends, and we've had to convert to a virtual platform. So every Wednesday night, Teresa and I and our group of friends, we get together for our date night, and the six of us go out together, and we go out to dinner, and then we usually go to a local place and play. We play trivia or something, and so what we've been doing is we've been using Zoom or Skype, and there's a board game that we play called Code Games, and we've been doing that every Wednesday night since the lockdown. So while we haven't been with them physically, we still keep playing our games. Andy's Journeys, welcome in. We've still been playing our games on Wednesday night. Our date night is at home. We haven't gone out, although we've been trying to support local businesses, especially some of our local restaurants that are delivering or doing takeout. And so we'll do that on Wednesday night. And I feel like I'm leaning on this wall. So we've been doing that so that these guys can stay in business because our small businesses, especially in the town that I live, it's a little town. I really fear for what is going to happen to them when all of this is over, because they're hurting really, really bad. So, gone without fresh brewed iced tea from the gas station on my way to work. It sucks. Yeah, I get that. Now I'll tell you, the last time we went camping, we were out at the coast, and it was before COVID lockdown. In fact, we left the day that they shut things down. Go back and watch the video on that if you want. But that was the last time. So that was February 22nd. And that was the last time I put gas on my truck. I put gas on my truck. It was yesterday or the day before yesterday. Yeah, I think it was Saturday. I put gas on my truck for the first time since February 22nd, and I paid $1.79 a gallon. Floored me. It was amazing. I love it. These gas prices can stay right where they are. All right. Question number 5, what are you most grateful for? I am grateful that we haven't been affected by this. I don't know anybody that has got this. I don't know anybody that has been terminal over this. There is nobody. We haven't had one case in our entire town here. I'm grateful that we have gone through all of this pretty much unscathed. So I'm glad that we've got our health. I'm glad that we still got our family. I'm glad that I'm still watching Levi 3 days a week. I'm grateful for all of that. So yeah, I mean, every day I thank God for waking up on the right side of the dirt and having what we have. All right, let's see where we at. Question number 6. What do you miss most? I miss hooking up the trailer and camping. I miss being with my friends. And beyond that, I miss just being free to do whatever I want and go wherever I want. That's what I miss. Let's see. Number 7. How long has it been since you've been at a campsite? February 22nd. That was the last time that we were at a campsite. So that's how long it's been. Now, the good news is I got a letter from the KOA, one of the KOAs that we go to in Central Oregon, and they said they are opening, I think in May, early May, and we have reservations there for Memorial Day weekend, and they wanted to let us know that they're going to be open. So that's going to be awesome. They asked if we were coming, and I said, absolutely, we'll be there. So, yeah, so the last time we were at a campsite was February 22nd, and the next time we'll be at a campsite. Now, will be Memorial Day weekend, although Washington State is supposed to be opening up their campgrounds mid-month. And if that's the case, we will go up there for the weekend, up to Washington somewhere. You know, miss hitting the bars. I shouldn't have a comment on that. I don't frequent bars too much, but what I've enjoyed when it comes to that is the fire pit in our backyard and a really nice glass of Maker's Mark. And I probably have done that more frequently than I've ever done that before. The governor said so. So, all right, number 8. What is your favorite quarantine food? Don't have one, because we haven't really changed anything about our diet with the quarantine. Been doing a lot of grilling, a lot of Blackstone. You know, still like a good steak. So, hey, I'll send you my address. Send me a bottle there, Andy. I like Makers. I like Pendleton. My favorite drink of all, though, is the drink that somebody pours me. So, anyway, yeah. So we really don't. I don't have a quarantine food. We've just really been eating like we normally do. What was wondering really's answer? Yeah. Okay. All right. Number 9. Number 9. How are you doing exercising and doing workouts? Teresa and I go for a walk daily. We also started this 30-day crunch challenge where you do crunches, leg lifts, and planking. We're doing that. So, Bullet Bourbon, I'm good with that. But yeah, we really, other than the gyms being closed, we've got a membership to Crunch, and it's closed. It's closed, but they're still taking our membership. Anyway, we haven't really changed our routine that way. We're not locked into our houses, so you're allowed to walk around, and they haven't. There's a lot of people wearing masks, but they haven't made it mandatory, and it really doesn't matter because I'm not wearing one anyway. All right. Who are you challenging next? Choose 5. I will challenge. I'll tell you how we'll do this. I'm going to put a link in. I'll invite anybody that wants to come in, and I mean anybody that wants to come in and share answers or change the subject or whatever. I'm open to talk about anything. We got about 35 minutes left. While we're waiting, I want to congratulate Justin and Christina. The baby is here. They put it up on Facebook, and I saw that. Wonderful. Welcome to the world. You couldn't have come at a better time. They're a young one. Anyway, yeah, congratulations to Justin and Christina. if you're friends with them on Facebook, give them a a high five, or just send them a little congratulations. You know, it's always great when somebody joins us. So, yep, arrived this morning. I got a notification. It was fantastic to see. Um, so that's really cool. Every dog, I didn't see you slide in. Welcome in. So again, anybody want to join? Go ahead, just click that link. We'll bring you in for the last 34 minutes or so. Have a little discussion. Curious to see what you guys are all doing during this time of great uncertainty. I tell you, some of this is kind of laughable. You see the news folks, and they're all wearing their masks around their neck, um, because they're setting the example of what you should be doing. Um, I went to Home Depot today, and they keep you 6 feet apart in the line, and they're only letting, if one comes out, one can go in. So if four come out, four gets to go in. And so you get to the door, and the guy finally lets you go in. And then everybody's standing right next to them at the, you know, I was getting some shims and stuff. And, I'm standing like 3 feet next to this guy. One guy, comes and actually kind of moved me out of the way. And then you get to the cash register for checkout, and the gal is like right there. We should be wearing masks around our neck. That's what the news is saying. At least that's what the news folks are doing, Bob. I don't know. So I get up there, and I go to pay for my stuff, and she's less than 3 feet away. Hands. I used the same keypad that the guy in front of me used. They didn't clean it. So I said, the Army probably pumped enough chemicals inside of me that I'm immune for everything. So I'm just not worrying about it. So, all right. But yeah, I just, there's folks that, now don't get me wrong. I'm taking the virus serious. I'm just not taking the people that are dictating policy serious, because Wags is in. I just put a link up if you want to join me. But I'm just not the folks, especially here in Oregon, the folks that are making up the rules as they go. They're painting with too broad a brush. 90% of Oregon is rural. We only have 3-4 major metropolitan areas in Oregon. The rest of the state is farm and desert, and forest land. And they're making policy, for folks out in Eastern Oregon that really only applies to the knuckleheads in Portland. So, yeah, that's awesome. So, all right. So, we're getting through all of this. It's frustrating because you want to do the right thing. Hey, RV reviews by the Air Force guys in. Good to see you. Good to see you. That's all right. That's all right, Dustin. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, I did. That's cool. No, I'm running out of things to say. We got a half hour left, and I zipped through those questions a little bit too fast. So, if anybody wanted to come in, that they're welcome to come in. I posted the link up there about 9 times now. So, if you want to come in, plug your channel, do whatever you want to do. I'm easy. What I will talk about while we're waiting, though, is we're kind of letting the cat out of the bag a little bit. Speaking of Dustin, JT and DT's Adventures, good to see you. On this project that Dustin from Wayward Wags, Michael from Our Epic RV Adventure, and myself are doing. We are doing a fundraiser for a really great nonprofit organization that assists disabled veterans. And here's the genesis. I was thinking that when we come out of COVID, a lot of these small nonprofits are not going to be doing well. They're not getting the contributions they need. They're not getting the recognition. They don't have advertising dollars, and they're just really going to suffer because of all of this. So I thought, what can we do to help the small nonprofits that assist our veterans? And everybody's got their favorite charity, I guess. I have a lot of heartburn with some of the corporations that have built themselves around disabled veterans. A lot of them take a lot of what they take in go to administrative costs, and the veterans at the end user, which is the disabled veteran or the veteran, they get the short end of the stick. So anyway, we picked a really cool organization called, and I see you there. I'm going to bring you in just a sec. Called Patriot Rovers, and it is an organization that raises, trains, and places service dogs to disabled veterans that have mobility issues, they have PTSD stuff, and all of that. And they work in concert with the VA. So the VA, basically, when you go through the VA to get a service animal, this is one of the organizations that feeds that animal into the VA system. All right, I'm going to bring in Paul, the Air Force guy, and here he is, and I'll continue to talk about this. Hey, welcome in, Paul.
Good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Doing great. Hey, listen, I just wanted to see I think you're being a little positive this evening, and wanted to kind of bring it from a dealership standpoint. And I'm an RV sales guy.
Okay.
I consider myself more of a product specialist, not really a sales guy. But I think people are antsy and they're ready to get out. And I think that you're going to see the RV industry explode once this stuff wears out. And keep in mind, this virus is still going to be around even after they let everybody go out. It's just a matter of, I think you just got to be smart about things. And those individuals with health issues are the ones probably going to be most concerned. So me, myself, I haven't had a flu shot since I got out of the Air Force, and I can't remember the last time I got the flu.
Right.
I don't know why people are thinking that we need to have a vaccine before we get back to normal, because I don't think vaccines do all that well anyway, in my opinion. But
yeah,
I mean, things are crazy. But Saturday we had 11 new families purchase campers, and that was on Saturday. So people are chomping at the bit to get out. Now it's just a matter of getting these campgrounds open, and it's really frustrating that governments don't understand that campers and people that have been camping for decades have been social distancing all that time. It's one of the best ways to social distance, and they don't get it.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And that was the discussion we had at the beginning of the show when I was going through the questions. And the last time we had our rig out was February 22nd, was when Oregon shut down the state parks, and we were at a state park. And I was talking to the park host, and I said, how much more social distance can we get? I've got a complete stand of trees, bushes, and we have salal out here like crazy. I can't even see my neighbor.
Right.
And here it is, just my wife and I, and and I get it. It's kind of a herd mentality, and that's the way that they make decisions. They can't allow people to be responsible. That's kind of where I was going at the beginning. I think people need to just stand back and say, look, if I got a cold and COVID wasn't an issue, I still wouldn't go out and infect my fellow, citizens. I would be responsible. And I get it. They got to make rules for irresponsible people. I mean, you're former military guy, you know how that is. It's one size fits most.
That's
So
exactly right.
um, anyway, I agree. The dealer that we purchased our RV from, they're great folks, and they send out a weekly newsletter. And they said, yeah, they're selling trailers like crazy. Now they're doing it using the social distancing model to where
Right.
they're only allowing so many people in and all
Right.
that. But yeah, I actually called down there because I needed a part, and they said, the parts shop isn't open, but we'll mail it to you. So the
So we
good
have,
news is, I mean,
we have a drive up. If you don't want to walk in now, of course, in Maryland, if you go out to retail shops now, stores that are open, you have to wear a mask.
yeah,
So, but for those that do not want to come inside, they can just pull up, they can call, order the part, they'll bring it out to them. So it's kind of like curbside, but it's really not curbside because they're coming right into our parking lot. But they'll just bring it right out to you, and you don't have to come in.
yeah. I think in the next week or so, we're going to start seeing a lot more businesses up here doing that. Um, because I mean, they got to start getting people back to work, and there's so many businesses that they went through boards up. I mean, it almost looks like a hurricane zone. I mean, the last time Oregon had a hurricane was never. So it looks like what we watch on the news, from Florida up here, that small businesses are just boarding up, to keep people from looting them and things of that nature. So
Right. Well, Jerry, I appreciate you having me on here. I'll let you get back. And whether if somebody else is waiting in the wings, you can get to them as well.
oh,
So
you're it right now, but so stay as long as you want. I'm going
I
to throw
just
the
want,
link back up there. I'll throw the link back up there and see if anybody wants to come in.
I just want to give you another positive feedback on what is happening out there. So
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. I'm always a glass half full kind of guy, and like we answer these questions, and by and large, 98% of the population really hasn't been affected that much.
that's correct.
And
Well, then you know what? I'm sure there are people out there that were infected, didn't even know it. So when that's
oh,
going
I'm
to come
sure.
out here, that's going to come out as time goes on, and that's good for them because according to what they're saying now, and of course, things will change tomorrow, but supposedly now
Yeah.
those individuals are going to be immune.
Well, I'm no scientist. I was a grunt in the army, so
Well,
you know
did you
I
stay hey, Jerry, did you stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night?
I did.
All right,
I
well, then maybe
did.
that makes you a scientist then.
But I was reading an article last week about herd immunity, and they had some whiz bang scientist from, I think he was from Johns Hopkins, and he was talking about herd immunity, and what we need to do is do what we did for polio and smallpox and all that. So you immunize, and however you feel about that, or you get it. And what that does is it basically eradicates things in the future. And again, I'm not a scientist. I'm just regurgitating what he was saying. But if you look what they did back in the 50s, late 40s, 50s, 60s, there's things that my kids will never see. And they're in their mid 20s now. There's things that they will never see because we just either let people get it. And okay, before I get hate mail, I don't want anybody to die. But the fact of the matter is, more people are recovering than are dying. And so at some point, we need to um, allow a little bit of COVID. I mean, every time we deployed somewhere, we took malaria pills. Never got malaria that I know of, but I took malaria pills. And when I was in Iraq, everybody, the entire country of Iraq, has malaria. They don't take malaria pills because they all got it. They don't die of it anymore. It's just part of their DNA now. And so generations are just um, it's just part of what they are. So okay, we just got a question for you. If
Okay.
you have time, what size travel trailer, well insulated, would he recommend for access to all parks?
Access to all parks. Well, I'll
Yeah,
tell
I
you,
guess we're talking about size.
oh, what size?
Yeah, if you were going to just pick a trailer that's going to be one size fits most trailers in national parks, state parks, private parks.
Well, so and I get mixed feedback on this, and I've been to state parks where they tell you can only have a 30-foot trailer there or 30-foot RV, and I did show up in a 35-foot Class A motorhome. Thank goodness I got there late, so they didn't check me in. But walking around the campground, I'm noticing 40-foot, and 38-foot and 42-footers in there. Like I could have put a 45-foot in the spot that I was in. But now I know that you have to be concerned if you're doing a lot of traveling because there are road restrictions on total length. So those are things you need to consider. I know national parks, they have restrictions. I don't know if it's 25-foot or 30-foot. I guess it depends on the park itself. But you've got to tailor to what you're looking for. And how many people are you talking about? You're talking about, it's just a couple. Is it a family of four? There's so many variables with that. I mean, heck, there are people out there that are camping full time in little teardrops.
Yeah.
So it comes down to it. I would tell you, take your time. Don't go to an RV show to get an idea of what fits your particular needs. I would tell you to go to a reputable RV dealer and take the time. And if they'll let you, if things are unlocked, go ahead and spend time and go in and sit in different RVs and just kind of take it in and see how it's going to feel. Don't just walk through them, but find a floor plan that you feel that you like, and then spend some time in it.
Yeah. Yeah. When we were RV shopping, we looked at probably 100 or so before we settled on the one that we got, and it came down to who we were buying for, which was my wife and I. The kids are grown. We don't need them sleeping in bunkhouses and stuff. And then we wanted room enough that we're not bumping into each other. And we ended up with, it's essentially 29 feet of usable space inside. So with my tow vehicle, we take up 52 feet of length. And we've never had a problem getting in and out of anywhere. But we also do our homework before we go. We find out what max lengths are and avoid places that we don't fit. So,
right.
Yeah, I think you really need to just. I agree. There's not really a one size fits all answer because it might be the right length but the wrong floor plan, or it might be, the wrong floor plan or the right floor plan and they're not wrong length for you or whatever. Get what you can tow and get what you want.
I saw Fun Time RV asked a question. I'm sorry, Fun Time Dream. They asked about a Class A being handicap accessible with a chairlift.
Yeah.
There are actually ones out there. I know Winnebago, they have an actual customization side of the house where you can basically customize an RV. Rather expensive. They also have a handicap accessible one, and so does Newmar. They have a really nice floor plan with an actual wheelchair lift in the back. So there are some on the market now. There's a possibility that you could go ahead, not necessarily put a wheelchair lift. If you already had a Class A, there are companies out there that will, and hopefully the door's wide enough where it's basically a seat lift. So the person would have to transition from the wheelchair to a seat, and it would actually lift them through the doorway. Now you're gonna have to carry the wheelchair into the motorhome, or have something else in the motorhome for that individual to sit on.
Yeah. So traveling down the banisters did a video, and I want to say it was a Winnebago. They did a video where they interviewed, I think it was a salesperson or a rep from Winnebago, and they were actually showing a wheelchair lift that they had installed in a Class A. So go to Traveling Down the Banisters channel. Who was that? Full-time
Full-time
Dream.
dream. And I did it.
Go to their channel and kind of look at their playlist. It's in there somewhere. I know I saw it somewhere. It was about a month or so ago. So you might have to do a little bit of digging, but they did do a video on that. So.
And Jerry, I did a video a couple of years back on the Newmar version of the handicap accessible one, showing the lift. So, and that particular floor plan, but that was a few years back. If you just go to my channel and just look up Newmar, you should be able to search through and see it. It'll say handicap accessible. So, but they're out there. It's just whether or not it's going to fit in someone's budget, really.
Right. Yeah. And the circumstances, I guess. I know my father-in-law's in a wheelchair, and they had to modify a van for him, but they don't go camping anymore either. But I know that modifying that van was the first iteration was one of those transition lifts, and then they said that was too much work for, and then they just installed the ramp thing, and it works great. So, and that's a good idea too. Their toy haulers could be converted a lot easier for handicap.
The problem with the toy haulers is the fact that the ramp in the back in a Class A motorhome, there's only two that I'm aware of in a toy hauler Class A motorhome. One is a Newmar Canyon Star, and the other is there's one other one, but the problem is the ramps are going to be too steep for them. Yeah. The other thing about the ones that are handicap accessible that are built by Newmar and Winnebago, and I'm sure there's probably some others out there, is, now you have the roll-in shower. The sofas are lower. They put, the switches are lower. It's not just the lift going into the motorhome. It's more to that. The toy haulers, the transition going in from the garage into the regular part of the motorhome isn't going to work in a Class A because it's a step up, and the doorway is much more narrow. And of course, the hallways are more narrow in those Class A's as well versus the handicap accessible ones. So a lot of things you need to look at from those, and it comes down to the individual and how bad they are and what their wants and needs are, and then I guess one of the top things is the budget.
Well, yeah, that's probably the bigger one, huh?
I'll tell you.
So yeah, full-time. He's saying that she just needs to get into the rig and then she can walk with the walker. So yeah, it's just the stairs that she's having trouble negotiating. It looks like. So I guess you just have to look around and see what's going to be best to suit your needs and the pocketbook. And but I guess the short answer to the question is yes, they are out there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's cool. So all right, we got about 10 minutes left.
I'm going to head out here. Let's see if anybody else wants to come in and help you out here. But appreciate it, Jerry, and you have a great evening and a wonderful week.
All right, you too. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. Hey, thanks for Paul. Thanks, Paul. Man, Peter Piper picked a peck of pick. Thanks, Paul, for popping in. That was fantastic. Great insights there to the industry, and keeping it positive. And I think that's That's really where we need to be right now. We need to be positive, and know that we're coming out of all this stuff. And what we need to be doing is getting our rigs ready, because as soon as the floodgates open, we're going. And that's going to be that. Let me wrap up what I was talking about with this fundraiser real quick in the last 9.5 minutes that we got. Oh, and anybody that wants to come in, just say, "Hey, watch my channel. Come on in." I'm going to put the link up one more time, and you'll get the last 5 minutes or so, or the last 8 minutes or so. But on this fundraiser, like I said, we're letting the cat out of the bag a little bit slowly, because we wanted to make sure that everything was lined up before we just went out and blurted it out there. But so what's going to happen is, in fact, I talked today with the supplier, and we're doing a T-shirt. It's going to be a T-shirt that's going to be a fundraiser. It's going to have a cool design on the front and a cool design on the back. And what we did was we reached out to veterans that are in the RV community here on YouTube. And we got a number of veterans, a really good number. It's very, very cool. That said, "Hey, we want to be a part of this." And we're talking some pretty significant channels in the YouTube community. Not going to say who they are now, because that's going to be a huge reveal down the road here in the next week or so, 2 weeks or so. So anyway, we came up with this idea. We're going to support Patriot Rovers. We're going to be selling T-shirts, and 100% of the profits is going to go to Patriot Rovers. And let me tell you what we did. Here's kind of the stuff that Dustin and Michael haven't been a part of. Well, they have, but I've been dealing with the gal doing the T-shirts. And so basically what we came up with was this gal that I've worked with for a number of other activities. She waived all of the setup fees. She waived all of the costs that's associated with getting all that in. They basically waived any business. They're taking no profit on the T-shirts. It's going to be a complete cost thing for them, and we get 100% of the profit, which means that we get to keep the price where we wanted to keep the price, and give Patriot Rovers a significant check at the end of this fundraising event. What are we going to be asking? We're going to be asking that you support us by buying a T-shirt. That's all. The folks that are on board as sponsors, they're doing the same. They've already made that commitment to buy a shirt or two, and then they're going to be helping us with the promotion stuff. And then we're going to come to all of you through our 3 channels, and whoever else wants to promote it. And we have a website that we're going to be revealing, where you can actually go online, make the purchase online, and we'll send you the shirt. We're working out the sizing. The shirt is a shirt made in the USA. We didn't want shirts made, elsewhere, because number one, we're veterans and we want stuff made in the USA. And the American Wanderer, welcome in. Linda Barker, welcome in. I didn't say hello to you earlier. But yeah, the shirt, 100% made in America. It is from a small business. It's a little mom and pop shop. In fact, there's only 3 employees in the entire business. They're doing the shirts for us. And I got slow-mo. I'm going to bring you right in, brother, because we got about 6 minutes.
What's up, brother?
What's up, KT? How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. I got several things in my head. I think I should have turned something off, but we're doing good. I came on to say a special thank you to Ricky, and he gave me a $400 super chat last night.
Ricky from RV Underway?
Yeah, can you believe that?
That's awesome.
It was his birthday, man. It was all his birthday Monday.
Well, there you go.
I think he called me today and said he hit too many zeros.
Oh, well, hey, you better get in that rig and drive, otherwise he'll find you.
I know, man. But no, we're working on a house deal, so we're hoping that's gonna come through. So other than that, we're gonna go back to work tomorrow. We gotta go to Indiana, get a couple loads coming back down to Texas, I believe.
All right. Well, that's good. You be safe out of there on the road. Want to make sure that you make it back.
That's right,
all in
buddy.
one piece.
Hey, you're doing a great job, man. I got to get out of here.
All right. Don't
All
get
right, buddy.
kicked out of any more Walmarts. All right.
See you, brother.
See ya. All right. Hey, well, that was KT from Slow Mo. If you haven't caught him, you probably won't because he's. Hey, I got a spam call. You probably won't because he's always on the road, always on the move. It was fantastic hooking up with him. All right. Anyway, hey, we got about 3.5 minutes. I want to make sure that we wrap up this thought on the shirts. So what do you got to do? What we're asking you to do right now is just think about us. We're going to be getting something out in the next week. Should be the next week, might be 2 weeks. We're rolling things out to our the veteran RV guys that families that are on board. They're first, and then we roll into the second deal. It's going to be super easy. It's going to be very clean, and you can know that 100% of the proceeds are going to this fantastic charity. The more we raise, the more dogs end up in the right hands. And I tell you, you guys have all seen Talon, Michael from our Epic RV Adventure, seen his dog. He came out of this organization. Michael got him through the VA system there, and it really helps the machine that keeps veterans doing well. So we want to do our part, help a small organization out, and I know that we can do it. And we as a community, this is a great community, and now is the time that we're going to have to be charitable, because, like I said at the beginning, there's going to be a lot of hurting small businesses, small nonprofits that are going to need a whole lot of attention. And that's why we're staying away from chain restaurants. We're staying away from the big chain stores, except for like Home Depot and stuff, because our hardware stores, they're not doing too well. A lot of them are closed down right now. So buy local, buy small, and support those small businesses. And again, I want to thank Paul from RV Reviews by the Air Force guy. I want to thank him for popping in. That was a treat for me. That was a real treat for me. I can't thank you enough, Paul. Thank you. And then it was great to have KT drop in and give a shout out to Ricky, a good friend of all of ours, that was pretty generous last night, even on his own birthday. All right, folks, remember that a happy life starts in a happy place. You find yours, please, and be positive. Keep your chin up. We're going to get through all this. And with that, have a fantastic week. It's only Monday, folks, for those of you that still know what day it is. Only Monday. We'll get through it. Have a great one, and we'll see you next Monday. Have a good one, folks.